Alright, it's VOD review time. Our first match is Odin versus Callie. Mr. Rain Team versus Wheezing Slander. Let's get on with it. So first round was a showdown recreation because Odin got absolutely bodied, but that's okay. Booster energy proc on the Iron Crown. Fable Fops of Follow
Follow
Me
me.
uses Earth Power, doing decent chunk to the Iron Crown. Tachyon Cutter does just under 50%, and another putting it down to around 10%. Freeze Dry takes it out.
Freeze
No
Dry
more
pulling away
Clefable.
that super effective hit into the Toad Scroll.
Interesting that he leads Follow Me it next to a Rage Powder Toad Scroll, assumedly. Protect.
Well, obviously, if either of these mons pulled a move, they're gonna die, whether it be from Freeze Dry or the Tachyon Cutter.
That's true. Freeze Dry takes out the Toad Scroll off rip. Weezing comes out, neutralizing gas. This is an interesting lineup for Odin, I'm not gonna lie. We see Tachyon Cutter take out the Weezing, and I'm assuming Kingdra goes down to a Freeze Dry here.
Yeah, Icy Wind is just a bit too little too late. And with Odin's team being half quad weak to Freeze Dry and half being weak to Tachyon Cutter from a specs boost, special attack boosted Iron Crown, that is not a great lead for Odin.
Now we're gonna see Callie versus Odin. Round 2. Callie took the first round. We're gonna see Odin switch it up a little bit with Typhlosion Clefable instead of Toad Scroll, and we're gonna see Slurpuff. Slurpuff with the Lumberry. We're gonna see that immediate Pelipper
Lumberry
switch
Puff?
set up Rain. Typhlosion Eruption in the Rain does next to nothing to both of these guys. Sticky Web goes down. Moonblast goes out. Decent chunk with the Citrus Berry procs.
That's
See a
so funny
burn
because it
on
kind of traps this
Clefable.
Typhlosion in. They either stay in and keep going for rain debuffed
Flame
eruptions or
or
switch out and get the
Clefable.
speed drop after.
Fake Tears. Hurricane takes out the Toadstool. No way it lives that. And Clefable pops a Fling. Burning the Pelipper?
Yep.
Flame
Alright.
or
That is a burn
Clefable.
Pelipper.
I like it. Picasso. Shadow Ball goes in just
Even with the
barely
speed
not
debuff,
taken up.
most likely
Yeah.
scarfed Typhlosion.
Oh, for sure, Scarf Typhlosion. Hurricane goes out.
But
One hit shots that Typhlosion because Rain's up. Moonblast goes out, takes out the Pelipper.
regardless
But
if
unfortunately,
Typhlosion had stayed in or if Toad Scroll switched in, both mons are just getting one shot by Hurricane.
I love to see Pinsir come out here. It is a shame. You see Mega Pinsir pop.
That's kind of rough here. Odin having 3 mons in the back that all drop to a Pelipper Hurricane is kind of tragic. The only thing keeping him here is this Follow Me Clefable pulling away the potential flying moves.
It's kind of sad to see. X Scissor goes in, does not pick up the KO. Freeze Dry goes out. Yeah.
Stab plus 2 X Scissor, not enough.
Moonblast goes in, and then this next turn we're going to see Clefable go down. Clefable did pick up 2 KOs this match. Or 2 KOs this set. That's impressive.
That's good, but
That's
unfortunately it's impressive for a Clefable, but and Clefable's entire team went down because Clefable could not kill the mons fast enough, nor has enough speed to kill them before they kill its partner.
It is sad.
Maybe helping.
So Clefable was kind of forced to
Next
clean up
up,
the
we're
crap.
going to see a highly debated match in D versus Saw. D leading Slitherwing. Slitherwing Ninetales setting up Sun. Saw countering with Flygon Talonflame. Immediate
That's
swap.
game 2.
Is this game 2? No, it's not. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's
What are you
game
talking
2.
about? What are you talking about?
That's
Very
game 2.
professional, very professional. Saw leads Talonflame Flygon, same as before. We see D lead Lilligant and Ninetales, setting up that Chlorophyll on Lilligant. Dual Wing Beat goes into Lilligant, just shy of picking up the KO. Sleep Powder goes in. He misses. Poor D. Energy Ball goes into
Invited
Flygon.
hit, but
Minimal damage. EQ goes out, picks up the KO on both. Flygon's a goat.
Yeah, D's lead without the off pressure of Sleep Powder. This lead was not getting done.
So the wing Entei
Yeah.
duo comes out in the sun. This could be pretty dangerous, but we see we see Armor Tail for Rigoraph come out to block that first impression. Sacred Fire comes in, picks up the KO, even though it's resisted into Flygon. Iron Moth comes out. See that Heat Wave go in, pick up both KOs, giving Saw the match. Right, we're gonna Game 2. D switches it up a little bit, leading Ninetales, Slitherwing, and Sid. Still setting up that sun. We see Talonflame and Flygon say to leave from Saw. Photosynthesis proc. Immediate switch out because he's scared of that Armor Tail coming in. Dual Weak Beat going into the Ladina. Does just about nothing. Energy Ball goes back in, dealing the exact same amount. Earthquake goes in, kills that Ninetales.
Latios is coming in, making sure that they can not only avoid the Earthquake, but also not be weak to that dual wing beat is wonderful, but Ninetales is just not doing nothing. Priority Tailwind goes up.
See two Terras
And that
go in.
speed boost allows Flygon to outspeed.
Terra Ghost, Terra Blast into a Latias. Unfortunate. We do see Sacred Fire go out, still in the sun, picks up the KO on Flygon. Are we going to see Farigiraf come in? That means that First Impressions is off the table, unfortunately. Dual Wing Beat goes in, picks up the KO on Slitherwing, and we're going to see Entei have to match down a 3v1. Sacred Fire goes in, does not pick up the KO. Dual Wing Beat does minimal damage. Hyper Voice does do a chunk, just barely not picking up the KO. Sacred Fire goes in, picks up the KO on Talonflame, but unfortunately Entei at 5% cannot win a 2v1, especially in Tailwind. We're going to see D lose the game, Saw take the game and the set.
I feel like D's major weakness here was A, not having speed control, but also his team being defensively frail meant that they couldn't do anything to counter the Mons that were just hitting him for very strong neutral damage, if not super effective damage.
Oh, please be
Yeah,
nice.
Really getting anything done.
Soju versus Mist. I will only ever be slandering Soju. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
Get Mist out of here. We see Tauros. Is this Tauros Blaze? Yes, Tauros Blaze comes out.
Tauros
along
Blaze.
with Tinkaton, we see Sableye and Brute Bonnet come out. Brute Bonnet immediately switches into a fake Slowking, which takes a fake out. Flare Blitz into the Slowking as well. Knockoff goes in, taking out the balloon on Tinkaton.
That'll be significant if they have something like Glastrier in the back with high horsepower.
Tinkaton takes an Encore, can't fake out. Trick Room goes up. Mist remembered that she had a Trick Room button. She didn't remember that the last 2 weeks. We see a swap.
No, they've been struggling to get it up, whether it be Slowking dying or just not bringing Slowking.
Oh, Glastrier comes in. Terra Psychic. We see what is Moto? Is that a Vanillux?
That's the Tauros.
Is that a Tauros? Okay.
Tauros Blaze, Terra Ice.
See Tinkaton come back in.
But there's
High
no
horsepower
snow.
does pick up the KO on.
Yep, that balloon is gone.
Knockoff does a decent chunk, takes off that expert belt. Stomping Tantrum goes in, doesn't do anything. Future Sight does take out the Tauros, and we're going to see Naganadel be the last thing she has. Icicle Crash does take it out, giving Mist the game. Round 2. Wait, I did the wrong sides again.
Clefairy Slowking, a very passive lead. This
I can't remember. Slowking Clefable. Yeah, this is a very passive lead. We see Soju lead with Intimidate. The same lead. Same lead from Soju. Raging Bull goes into Clefairy. Doesn't do much. Gigaton Hammer does do, though. Trick Room does go up. Sableye comes in. Chilly Reception goes out. Letting Glastrier come in, setting up Snow at the same time. Knockoff goes out, taking off the expert belt from Glastrier. Stomping Tantrum does 10%, doesn't do anything, tickles that man's balls. Terra Blast goes in, does 90%, and a knockoff kills it. Goodbye, Tauros. See knockoff go into Sableye, taking off that Roselli Berry, but not doing a whole lot.
I think the
Negative.
lack of protects here are really hurting Soju because when you don't have the speed advantage with Trick Room, you want to be able to stall it with Protect, and there's just no Protects coming out here.
Yep. Naganatal Terra Bugs gets that.
Fortunately,
and
a good defensive and offensive Terra.
Yep. Speed boost.
Terra buff, man.
Yeah. Life dude.
But now you've seen all of Mist's team. You see the Sableye, the Clefairy, and the Slowking in the back. Most of these mons are not threatening very high damage.
Absolutely not. Bringing only Glastrier as your main attacking mon and seeing it go down early is rough to see from Mist. I mean, it's good. It's something we welcome to see from Mist. But we see Rockslide pick up the flinch. Soju thinks she's me. That's interesting. Knockoff goes into Slowking,
Knockoff only
taking
does
off the
a
Black
third.
Sludge. Gigaton Hammer.
But the Gigaton Hammer crit, I wonder if the crit mattered.
I'm sure it did. Fake out,
Considering a super
popping the
effective
balloon
knockoff did
Tinkaton.
third,
We see Aquajet go out. Moonblast goes into Quavicle, doing just over 50%. We see one Protect go out. What a dub. We see
there's the
Disable
Protect.
go in. Rock Slide misses.
On both.
The double miss. That Protect being
Never mind.
very clutch
Soju
there in order to
is
prevent them
not
from dying.
me. That's unfortunate.
Aquajet comes out, doing about
Missed.
15% to the Clefairy, but it's able to just heal back up with that life dew.
Mist thinking she's a life dew spammer. I think she can get away with that. Eats a sludge bomb for it. We see Dragon get a beast boost. Knockoff takes it out though after the life orb chip. And we're seeing Quavicle.
Sableye is trying its best.
But we're not going to
1v2.
be. Sableye cannot 1v2 that. Takes a Gigaton Camera and a knockoff for its troubles. And Soju takes this game. Moving on to game
All
3.
things considered, if you can reduce the speed if you want. I think Mist played that incredibly well for having lost their Glastrier and trying their best to see what they can manage with the 3 support mons. Especially when all they have access to is the equivalent of Knockoff and Moonblast.
Game 3, we see Gothitelle Clefable lead. Still a Trick Room lead, but a little bit of a different one. We see Tauros Smeargle. Tauros immediately
Sarah Ice. Tauros, afraid of any psychic stabs from Gothitelle.
Clefairy pops.
Follow Me pulls away the Raging Bull.
Yeah. Mist did remember that Follow Me is something that she can use to do Trick Room. However, Imprison goes up, preventing her from using Trick Room. Flare Blitz goes into Gothitelle, doing a decent chunk. We see Spore go in. Soju forgot that it was a grass type. Or did Brubana come in this turn?
She switched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't slander. Damn. Flare Blitz goes into the Brute Bonnet, almost picking up a KO on it. 87% Spore goes into the Glastrier, putting it to sleep. Close Combat goes in, picking up the KO on Terra Ice Tauros. Seeing minus defenses all around for Brute Bonnet. Naganatal comes in place of Tauros. We see Smeargle pop a Protect and Brute Bonnet pop a Rage Powder, trying to stall out that sleep turn. Unfortunately, we see Heat Wave come in, picking up the KO on Brute Bonnet and doing
the Heat Wave is a huge tech there.
Yeah.
Able to ignore both forms of redirection on Mist side.
Oh, it takes the Future Sight attack.
Future Sight able to break a potential sash there.
Terra Psychic is good for Mist to see, and it's good that I missed. Soju might have won this if she didn't miss that. Double sleep. Thank God for VGC not having a sleep clause, eh?
And no Terra bug because the Terra had already been consumed on that Tauros. Sludge Bomb goes out as the Quackball switches in. And we do see the wake up. That's huge because now you're able to kill not only the Naganadel, but also be able to protect the next turn or Follow Me to avoid the Aquajet from the Quackball. But in order to avoid that, you do go for the Protect, avoiding the Spore that's going to be incoming for this turn, as well as the Aqua Jet. And that's going to also burn one more turn of sleep on the Clefairy, but they really need to be able to follow me here.
It is
Next turn, they're
sad.
just going to get slept.
If she didn't miss that heat wave, Mist would be on the back foot, only having Gothitelle and Clefairy, and I don't think she would have been able to close out the game against Nagatadel. It is sad to see.
Yeah, that Heat Wave miss was
it
pretty
is
crucial.
sad to see a game lost because of a single miss.
Mist also had some pretty decent sleep turns. They weren't instant wake ups either, but they also weren't max duration.
No. They were Glacier sleeping for 3 turns just gave enough wiggle room for
You see the close combat doing 14% as Terra Blast kills.
Yeah. Sad day. That's a
Future Sight able to break the sash on Smeargle actually was pretty impactful there.
Honestly, that's why I protected, because I thought that I might be able to live it, but I didn't realize it goes under.
Yeah, unfortunately, Future Sight occurs after the turn ends, so there's no protecting against it.
Pickup. Is that a 7? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is this do I see a 7?
Yes. John won with a 4-0 and then a 3-0.
7-0'd.
It was tragic.
How does that even happen?
It was tragic.
Well, you will see it now.
All right. John leads Fletchender and Dragonite. His 2 favorites. Hedge leads Garchomp and Magmar. Terra normal on the Dragonite. Magmar pops a Follow Me. We're going to see a Tailwind from the Fletchender and a Dragon Dance from the Dragonite as Rock Slide
and
goes
a
in,
Rock Slide misses on Fletchender, so it can't break the Gale Wings. And it also breaks the multi-scale on the Dragonite.
Gourgeist comes in place of Fletchender. We see Magmar
Covert Cloak Garchomp.
Again! Rock Slide goes out.
But Dragonite's just boosting.
Dragonite's just
Dragonite doesn't care.
E-Speed goes into Garchomp, picking up the KO. Rough Skin doing minimal...
+2 priority. Follow Me is also +2 priority, but because the Dragonite's faster, it's going to outspeed the Follow Me.
Eats a Poltergeist, but it doesn't mean anything. Dragonite's going to Stopping Tantrum, kill the Magmar before it can even think of doing anything other than popping a Follow Me, and Power Whip just kills the Primarina. This is tragic. Tailwind goes down, and Ultra Scalar is the only thing left. Had to Terra Steel to hopefully try and live a E-Speed. Manages to live the E-Speed, gets the Berserk boost, plus the Citrus Berry heals it back up past 50%. Misses a Hurricane. And because the Citrus Berry is gone, Poltergeist fails. We see Stomping Tantrum go out, and that is game 1. Game 2.
You know the risks when you run Hurricane.
Switching
That's
it up,
Pokemon.
he leads Milotic Dragonite instead of Talonflame, so Fletchender, Hedge. Also switches it up a little bit, leading Garchomp and Metagross this time. We see the immediate Terra from Dragonite into normal again. Turn 1 Protect from Metagross as Garchomp uses Rock Slide. Ice Beam goes into Garchomp, just barely lives it, and Dragonite flinches out. Now, Dragonite really has a decent E-Speed opportunity in here, but doesn't pick it up. Instead, Garchomp goes for Dragon Claw. Scald picks up the KO on Garchomp. As Dragonite
Milotic is faster here. That's something to consider. Milotic is faster than the Metagross.
Misses a Hammer Arm into the Terra Normal Dragonite. Primarina comes in. Helping Hand from the Milotic. We see E-Speed take out the Primarina.
Helping Hand +1 stab stream speed.
As she finally hits the Hammer Arm, getting that speed drop, but taking out that Dragonite.
But now, what's your end game? You got Weavile coming in as well as Moltres. Both these mons hit super effectively by the Weavile. You see Moltres Terra expecting an Icicle Crash, but they just go for a super effective knockoff into the Metagross, even the one shot. That leaves Moltres to try to clean up.
Terra Steel,
but unfortunately, a resisted Terra Steel Terra Blast into the Milotic is not going to do much.
Ice Beam goes in, does 9%. Milotic hits a Helping Hand, and we're going to see a knockoff go in and completely destroy this Moltres earning John the first 7-0 of the 7 differential of the season.
I feel like Hedge really had an opportunity on game 2, but she panicked on once the Weevil came in.
I would have fucking panicked too. Come on.
Oh no, I mean, they had bullet punch on Metagross, so
Yeah.
and there was a guarantee HKO.
Simon versus
Yeah, I don't
Calcite.
think there was any reason not to click Bullet Punch there.
We see Simon with his tried and true Oranguru Ursaluna lead with Empoleon Hawlucha facing him down. Ursaluna immediately tears into
Terra
ground,
ground.
and Hawlucha pops a throat chop on Oranguru, trying to shut down.
Nothing.
Hyper
Throat Chop would
Voice
not
with
impact
Hyper
anything here
Voice?
besides just getting damage.
I guess.
Nope.
Super effective, though, and we see Ursaluna pop a Terra Ground Earthquake.
They got their Flame Orb knocked off.
Yeah, no, Flame Orb did get knocked off. We see Trick Room go up. Snorlax pops an Earthquake this time, and we see Oranguru instruct Ursaluna to do a double Earthquake here, I believe. Yeah, double Earthquake. Hawlucha is living this very well as he is.
He's just not targeting the Hawlucha, but then again, the Hawlucha is also just not threatening much damage. It's not even threatening a 2-shot on either of these Mons.
Yeah, we see the wider pop on Hawlucha, unfortunately. That means Hawlucha should probably unburden.
Punch. Imprison, potentially shutting down, protect. We saw Trick Room, Instruct, Imprison, and I assume the last move is Protect.
Yeah, Ice Punch takes out the Ursaluna. Calcite is taking really decent advantage of his Simon's Trick Room. We see Skeletorch come out, as well as Azumarill. Azumarill uses Ice Spinner into Hawlucha, doing decent damage.
Azumarill being the slowest mon on the field here is crazy. The fact that Azu is slower than the Snorlax.
Earthquake come out, not doing 50% to either Skeletorch or Azumarill, as Torch Sonic picks up the KO on Snorlax, getting that special attack boost and the boost for
Throat Spray proc.
Throat Spray.
Throat Chop comes out, but because of Trick Room, it's just too little too late. They already procced their Throat Spray, so they're already boosted now.
Aqua Jet goes into Hawlucha, picking up the KO. An Armarouge,
Armarouge
Force cannot pick it up in time.
Not a kill.
I would have gone into
he gets a
Skeletorch
kill,
here.
but yeah, you got to go for the Skeletors. You have Terra Grass.
I mean,
but
two
instead
Aqua
they go
Jets,
for
two
the
Aqua Jets kill Armarouge anyway. They were
That
kind of
Armarouge
shite out of
was
luck.
At Terra Grass?
Possibly. They did forget to Terra.
If that was a Sash,
Simon round 2, we see the same lead from Simon and a same lead from Calcite. Close combat going into Oranguru off bat with a knockoff going in as well. Trick Room goes up as the Flame Orb burns the Ursaluna. Imprison goes off, preventing any protects. Telepathy Earthquake comes in, picking up a KO on Empoleon. Close combat goes in, doing just under 50% to the Ursaluna. Armarouge comes in as well with Snorlax. The double switch is interesting. Armarouge uses a wide guard to prevent an earthquake. And Snorlax goes down to a crit facade. I'm pretty sure the crit mattered there, actually. We see Hawlucha come back in.
Terra Ground Earthquakes. We're doing about 50 without the burn.
Facade takes it, and unfortunately, Armarouge cannot 1v4, especially inside of Trick Room. We see Instruct go in, and Facade take out Armarouge, giving Simon the game and the set. Sad day to see. Noof versus DJ Bonnie. Aerodactyl and Volcarona lead against DJ Bonnie's Camerupt and Mimikyu. Immediate Mega Evolution from both sides with a Terra Ground on that Volcarona. We see Rock Slide go in, miss the Mimikyu, and Camerupt protects. Trick Room goes up from Mimikyu, and Volcarona protects. We see a double protect from Noof instead to go up against this Eruption. Play Rough goes into Aerodactyl. Ledge comes out in place of Mega Aerodactyl. Eruption procs Flash Fire. We see Play Rough go into Ledge, and Volcarona is going to start Quiver Dancing inside of Trick Room. Ballsy. Earth Power goes into Volcarona. Shadow Claw goes into Ceruledge. Try to pick that up. Fiery Dance goes into Mimikyu. It doesn't pick up the KO.
Noof is reading DJ like a book here.
Oh, 100%. Earth Power gets protected by the thing. Shadow Claw goes in. Aerodactyl doing really well to stop this Trick Room. And unfortunately, it is too little too late. We see Fiery Dance pick up the KO on Mimikyu, not getting the special attack boost. We see Camera Up Protect. Rock Slide goes into the Meowstic, doing 28%. Bug Bugs goes in, picking up the KO on Meowstic, and unfortunately, Camera Up is still behind protection. And now we see Camerupt and Arctozolt come in. Rock Slide almost doing 70% to Arctozolt, with Fiery Dance picking up the rest of that KO. And now it is a Mega Camerupt against all 4 of Noof's Mons. Ancient Power does pick up the KO on Mega Aerodactyl. Fiery Dance goes in, does 40% to the Mega Camerupt, and Poltergeist finishes it off, giving Noof the game. Game 2. Game 2, we see the same lead from
Noof.
And a different lead
Tyranitar
from DJ
with
Bonnie, thinking that he's me. That's crazy.
Unnerve.
Rock
Tyranitar,
Slide
though.
go in, proccing the Disguise and doing a decent chunk to Tyranitar. Bug Buzz going in, doing 70%, living on 4 HP. Rock Slide, not doesn't
Just a
do
little
much,
bit of extra chip.
Very decent damage into the Aerodactyl. Ironhead goes into the Terra Ground.
Text.
Yep.
You get some good damage with that Tyranitar, but unfortunately the Volcarona is going to go for the kill.
And unfortunately, Tyranitar going down here means that Mega Aerodactyl really doesn't need to be doing anything, especially with the ability for
DJ Bonnie at this point is just trying to cook attacks.
Corviknight to come in to eat that Shadow Claw for it. Ceruledge comes in.
Ceruledge comes in, fearing an Icicle's crash, but instead they just go for the Bolt Beak, revealing that this Arctozolt is not choiced.
Yep. Corviknight goes down. Volcarona comes back in and protects. We see a double protect from Noof to stall at the last turn of Trick Room. And now the ball is in Noof's court, as DJ Bonnie is no longer faster than either. Bitterblade goes into
and
Mimikyu.
They protect Arctozolt, even though Noof is just going to double up the Mimikyu to prevent the Trick Room. The only punish would be for Arctozolt to go for an attack there, but they choose to protect it.
See Hariyama come in. Fire Dance goes into Arctozolt, just barely not picking up the KO, as Volcarona eats an Icicle Crash, which is super effective because it's Terra Ground and it dies. Rock Slide is protected by a Protect. We see Mega Aerodactyl come in. Dual Wing Beat goes in. Ooh. Nothing. Bitterblade goes out. Recovers 50%,
Oh
but
man,
loses 10%.
well, that would have been a perfect turn to see Protect on Arctozolt, because then your Hariyama can get the kill with Rock Slide, and you can force a 2v1.
Protect goes in,
but
trying to stall out more Burn Chip. And I think we're now in range to see Close Combat pick up the KO, giving Noof the game and giving him take the set. Good
DJ was
job,
so
Noof.
close in that second round. Just a couple misplays here and there would have completely changed the end game.
Ins
Noof, it was
versus
his first win.
Nex. All right, we see Goldango Mienshao versus Whimsicott, Hisui, and Gudra. Hisui and Gudra immediately Terra Waters, while Whimsicott protects.
Most likely fearing a close combat from the Mienshao.
Fake Out goes into Gudra, unfortunately, and we see Goldango pop a substitute. Moonblast goes in, proccing the Sash on Mienshao. We see U-Turn go in, doing a decent chunk.
U-Turn, no triple axle.
Yep, going into Rotom Wash, we see Make It Rain go out. Picking up the KO on that Whimsicott and doing little to nothing against Hisui and Gudra. We see Flamethrower go into Goldango, breaking that substitute. Scrafty come in, popping Intimidate on 2 special attackers. What a dub. Swaps back out to me, regenerating Mienshao. Fake Out goes into Rotom, as we see, I believe, Fake Out? Oh, no Fake Out. Flamethrower.
No, yeah.
Picking up the KO.
Flamethrower was going to go out into the Goldango, who had access to Terra Water, but instead they're just going to switch out into the Mienshao, who's going to take that hit and just die.
Latios.
Even though they had a Latios who resists fire in the back.
Scrafty pops a Protect. We see Tailwind go out from Latios. Volt Switch go into Gudra. Eats it like a champ.
Gudra is so especially bulky.
Cannot break it. Goldango comes back in from the Volt Switch. Misses a Draco Meteor.
Misses a Draco.
Helping hand into Goldango. Good as gold, preventing that next unfortunate rookie mistake. Make it rain goes out, reducing the special attack. Knockoff goes into Latios, picking up the KO. What a fucking monster
That is
Scrafty is.
tragic.
Flamethrower
Being
goes
able
in,
to
picking up
do
the KO.
anything with Latios
Doesn't pick up the
there,
KO, but picks
potentially.
up a burn on Goldango.
No Terra is being used here.
Let's forget that the Terra button exists, actually. We saw that last match, too, with Calcite. Make it rain goes out, but
Right,
after
make it
that,
rain.
it's
Gudra does
after that and the
8%.
special wall, it's just not gonna do it. Volt switch goes
And Volt
in.
Switch is also not going to kill. You've already seen how much Volt Switch damage does before.
Draco
And they're going to eat a Draco
does
Meteor for their
really
endeavors.
decent damage, yeah.
Do they switch Gudra out to reset the drops? Or
No.
nope, both mons stay in.
They eat it. And Gudra
Goldango's the
eats
fastest,
it.
and Gudra lives.
Scrafty goes down to make it rain, lives on 2%.
Thunderwave
go
into
out.
the 2% Gudra.
Punish.
Inspiration
Burn.
has 1 mon left, and you can force a 1v1 with what I assume is yeah, it's gonna be that Blaziken, and instead they leave the Gudra alive
Mega
to force him into a
Blaziken instead
1v2.
comes out Aura's fearing the Rotom Wash,
Oh,
meaning yeah,
no.
they would have won
You
because
could have
Hydro
killed the
Pump takes out
Gudra.
Blaziken. Oh, not being greedy and taking the KO means Nex loses this game, giving Inspiration the win. Can we see Nex pull it back this game?
Why the
too?
T-Wave? Gudra's already like the slowest mon on the field.
Switching it up a little bit, we see Nex lead Goldango Latios, and Inspiration completely switches it up with Whimsicott Blaziken instead. We see Goldango immediately swap out to Rotom Wash as Blaziken scouts with Detect. Moonblast goes into Latios, just doing over 50%. We see Latios pop a Tailwind.
But
Speed Boost goes into
Whimsicott's
Blaziken.
just going to click Tailwind the turn after. But Blaziken, not wanting to take on this Latios, decides to switch into the Dark-type Scrafty. Hopefully able to take a Psyshock. But Latios goes for the Protect, and we see, yep, that Tailwind from the Whimsicott, and that leaves Rotom to go for the Hydro Pump into the relatively bulky Scrafty, only taking less than 50.
We see Latios.
Goldango comes in, immune to the Fake Out. Good switch. And the Whimsicott does reveal that it has grass coverage. Double stabs on this team. Able to do just above 50% to the Rotom as it burns the Scrafty. Terra Electric is interesting here, considering that this Goldango is now going to have to face down a Scrafty with dark coverage, but it goes down to the Make It Rain. Now you just got to worry about that Blaziken in the back because you've lost your water type while also not terroring your Goldango. Now your team is super susceptible to that Blaziken. Now let's see how he adjusts. He decides to hard switch the Mienshao in, Moonblast into the Rotom, leaving it alive just barely as Flamethrower is able to break that sash on the Mienshao. Will-O-Wisp goes out onto the Gudra, revealing that it's double status Rotom with double stabs. And the bird's going to help chip down that Gudra, but it's not going to do much to hinder its damage. Fake Out goes out, but you're ignoring the Whimsicott, who's just going to click Moonblast, and down goes the Mienshao. It's up to Rotom to see what they can do here. Volt Switch with Terra Electric is enough to two-shot this no longer Grass-type Whimsicott. That is pretty significant here. Goldango comes out. Are we going to see the Latios come in? We do see the Latios. My question here is, what do you do about this Gudra with 2 special attackers on the field? Whimsicott, fastest mon on the field, tries to take out the Latios, but it's able to protect. Make It Rain goes out. That's going to... Yep, that is able to finish off the Whimsicott, so now you don't have that Whimsicott threatening the Latios. But it's not going to do much to the Gudra, who's still threatening your Goldango. And now that you've lost that option of Terra, both the Gudra and the Blaziken are threatening your Gold. And Gold's outsped by both of them. Hopefully you can get a Tailwind here. We do see Blaziken go for the Protect, but there's no Tailwind. It's just going to be a Luster Purge into the Blaziken, who gets outsped by both these Mons without Tailwind. They go for the Protect, saving themselves from the double up as Gudra just gets the KO on Latios, leaving it down to the Goldango and Rotom. But because Blaziken gets that speed boost after the Protect, there's not much this team can do now that Blaziken outspeeds. We do see the Mega, and it should be wrapped from here. We do see the Heat Wave, spread damage, able to get the kill on both Mons, not risking anything.
That means that
just like that, Inspiration
wins.
That
Inspiration takes the game and the set. What a clean sweep from Insp. Next up is Small versus Soul. We see a showdown recreation. Not looking good for Soul. All right, Soul leads Sneasler Superior, while Small leads Gyarados Espeon. That is real Gyarados, as we see Intimidate come out, proccing Contrary Superior. Fake Out goes into Espeon, who Terra Grasses immediately. Leaf Storm goes into Gyarados, doing just under 50%, giving Superior that +2 special, while it Dragon Dances. Dire Claw goes into Espeon, picking up the KO. Waterfall goes into Sneasler, also picking up the KO, as we see Leaf Storm miss.
Oh,
Weezing comes in. Neutralizing Gas cancels out Commander and Contrary. We see Ice Fang go into Tatsugiri, proccing Sash. Lewis goes into Dondozo just to prevent it from doing any meaningful damage. Wave Crush goes out but does nothing to the Weezing.
Oh man, this is rough.
This is rough. Tatsugiri
This is hard. This is hard to watch.
Ice Fang goes into the protecting Tatsugiri. Sledge Bomb goes into Dondozo, not doing any meaningful damage, but Wave Crash doesn't do any meaningful damage either. Burn brings it below 50%, meaning Soul's going to switch into Superior. We see Ice Fang pick up the KO on Tatsugiri, and Sludge Bomb just about pick up the KO on Superior.
Dondozo not wanting to take those special hit switches into their poison weakness mon in the back.
Superior eats an Ice Fang, and Dondozo eats a Sludge Bomb, meaning, Dondozo picks up
Dondozo's
the
trying
rest.
his best.
Chestoberry procs, but at this point, it's a 1v3 for Dondozo, and Gyarados Dragon Dances again, while Dondozo
Weezing just burns it again.
Just making sure that Wave Crash can't do anything more than 20%. Waterfall goes into Dondozo, doing a decent chunk, and gets taunted so it can't rest. Flinches anyway for its trouble.
It is funny seeing the Dragon Dance Gyarados go for another boost,
Sludge
considering
Bomb
this is probably unaware Dondozo. However, you're in such a driving position here that it doesn't really matter.
And we see Small pick that game. Can Soul bring it back and bring a game 3? We see same leads from Small, but Soul sets it up a bit, swapping Superior out for Cinderace, still keeping Sneasler. Small goes.
Espeon able to live that Pyro Ball thanks to the attack drop.
Yeah, Espeon pops a Gravity. Gyarados flinches from the fake out.
Another double KO as Gyarados gets its boost. And Weezing comes out. This is deja vu.
That went by real fast. Dondozo desperately crying
with the
for
speed
Tatsugiri to get in its mouth, but Tatsugiri doesn't know how to with Weezing on the field. Little confused, Will-O-Wisp goes in, making sure that Dondozo can't do anything to it.
Not the Don Bozo.
And the last one is Tatsu.
Yeah, Tatsugiri comes out, procs Helping Hand just to give Dondozo maybe a glimpse of a future. But we don't see it as they double up into Tatsugiri, putting it down.
Go Dondozo.
Meaning Dondozo
Change
is
the
back
world, our final
on
message.
1v3.
27%.
Wave Crash still does do jack fucking shit. We see Water Ball go in, and this is deja vu. We've seen this match before, and we know whose wins. Taunt goes in, preventing him from rest. Wave Crash goes in. Oh
boy.
Gravity goes back down. We see Water Ball goes into the Big Bozo. And Sludge Bomb to finish the game, meaning Small takes the game and the set.
That looked incredibly dominant from Small. But I feel like it was mostly just Soul didn't know what to do about neutralizing gas.
Next up is me versus Ty.
So if I'm not mistaken, he brought mostly his non-Sun variation of the team.
Yeah,
besides Torkoal and Venu.
He really didn't fight me in Sun. I was actually very scared of Venusaur, and he just didn't bring it. We see Ty lead Grimmsnarl Zapdos. So I was a little afraid of this, while I lead Tyranitar Excadrill. Tyranitar pops the Mega just to make sure that if Torkoal comes in,
Torkoal switches in, you keep the sand.
We see Fake Out go into Excadrill on 4 cheese.
Yeah, he just gets the flinch.
Close combat into the protected Tyranitar. That was really good for me.
I'm surprised by the close combat into the T-Tar here, considering that not only do you get to fake out the Excadrill, preventing any of your mons from dying from like an Iron Head, but the T-Tar is not very offensively threatening here. Why not just double up into the Excadrill?
Excadrill pops
unless you're
ground,
predicting a
goes
protect
Iron
on
Head,
Eska.
takes out the KO on Grimmsnarl. While close combat does pick up that KO
make
on
it not
Excadrill.
weak to steel. But it don't matter.
It don't matter. We do see Thundurus swap in instead of T-Tar. Aerodactyl comes in, and Sandy Shocks also comes in to replace that Grimmsnarl. We see Zapdos pop a Detect. Aerodactyl pops a Tailwind, while Thundurus pops a Windbolt Storm into the immune and detecting Zapdos and Sandy Shocks. Volt Switch goes into Aerodactyl, not even proccing Sash. We see Torkoal come in to set up Sun, but at this point it's a little too late. Zapdos pops Terra Steel. We see Helping Hand go in from Torkoal. Psychic Fangs doesn't do much to a Terra Steel Zapdos, and we see Windbolt Storm pick up the KO on the Zapdos and do a decent bit to the Torkoal. Sandy Shocks and Torkoal standing down up against Tythe in the back with Thundurus, Aerodactyl.
Sandy Shocks' special attack booster. That is interesting to me.
Rain Dance shuts
Rain
down.
Dance.
Rain Dance on Thundurus shuts down that Photosynthesis. Rock Slide goes in, doing decent amounts to the Torkoal. Power Gem goes out, killing the Thundurus. But unfortunately, with Rain up, with Ty not in his weather variant, Sand going up because T-Tar comes back in, this is going to be a done match with a Rock Slide into Sandy Shocks, picking up the KO on the Torkoal.
Hopefully
and
Sandy
an
Shocks.
EQ.
Nope. Foe's Tailwind. Make sure that Sandy Shocks just goes down to that Earthquake.
Meaning I win game 1. Let's see how game 2 goes.
Between the Sandstorm and the Tailwind,
Same leads
I'm
from
struggling to see how Ty
Ty.
deals with this speed control.
Same leads as Ty as I switch it up for Sharpedo Aerodactyl instead. Immediate Terra Steel on the Zapdos, and we see
A double up into the Aerodactyl,
yeah.
taking it out.
Yeah, double up in the Aerodactyl before he can pop off Tailwind. We see Mari come out. Shout out. We see Gardevoir come in, eats a close
Sharpedo close combat.
Close combat, Dazzling Gleam goes into Grimmsnarl. I really thought that was going to pick up the KO, but Grimmsnarl Play Rough is just enough to pick up the KO on
Grimmsnarl lives.
Sharpedo. Sandy Shocks comes in. Terra Ground on Flash Cannon does just under 50% to that bulky.
I am surprised to
But
see
Earthquake
that
picks up
Gardevoir
both.
lives with more than half.
Oh, Gardevoir is a bulky. Life Duel comes up.
Life
healing.
Dew.
Read back up. Torkoal comes in, but Torkoal cannot 1v2 the Helping Hand Earthquake Terra Ground Excadrill, and we see pick up the game, winning me the game and the set. Last game of the week, Boefie versus Runner. Arcanine comes in along with Crobat, and Runner leads with Rhyperior, Sinistcha, or Pultiga. What is that one? Is that Sinistcha?
Sinistcha.
Sinistcha, okay. My bad. Araquanid comes in.
You said it's a slow.
Yeah, I can't.
You keep forgetting. Alright, so Arcanine switches out. It gets the Intimidate drops, as well as Tailwind set up, which means that this Arcanine is going to be able to threaten the Rhyperior. However, we see the Rhyperior go for the Terra and the Swords Dance to negate that attack drop, as well as Trick Room going up. Puts Boefie incredibly behind for this turn 1. Terra Blast is able to get the one-shot on our Arcanine, and we see it reflect. Crobat does its best with the dual Wing Beat into the super effective Sinistcha, but it's not even going to do half thanks to that reflect. Mousehold is the mon in the back. We see Rage Powder, allowing for Rhyperior to safely get a Swords Dance boost. Boefie goes for the Crunch, showing that the Mousehold does in fact have the coverage for the Ghost-type Sinistcha. And another dual Wing Beat, but because of the defense drop from the Crunch, as well as a crit from the second dual Wing Beat, it does ensure that Sinistcha is going to go down.
Did not matter there.
I think one or the other would have mattered. Whether it was a crit or a defense drop, either would have ensured a kill.
Oh, either would have ensured.
Boefie got both for good measure. Mousel goes for the Protect, but Rhyperior doesn't care. It's just going to get the kill on the Crobat. And Xurkitree comes out. Tailwind ends, but there's still one more turn of Trick Room. Xurkitree switches out for the Riolu in the back. And Rhyperior gets the Rock Slide double KO thanks to that +2
thinks
boost.
He's me, bro. Who you feeling like? Game 2, Runner takes the gate.
Red stabs, go Burr.
Maybe we can see a Boefie pick up a KO to bring this to a game 3. Let's see it.
See similar leads, but our Arcanine in instead of Crobat, hopefully to try to deal with that Rhyperior. Helping Hand Volt Switch is not enough to KO the Arcanine. And we see Mirako gets the one-shot on Sinistra. Circuitry comes right back out, so they're back to square one. Follow me to pull away any moves from this Araquanid as Thunderbolt gets the kill on the Arcanine. And Liquidation kills Riolu. Now here's the thing. This circuitry is choiced. So now it is choice locked into Thunderbolt next to a Lightning Rod Rhyperior. Copycat from the Mousehold goes out, not expecting the choice Scarf circuitry, forcing it to also go for a Nothing Burger Thunderbolt. As a Rock Slide from the Rhyperior gets the kill on Araquanid.
An IQ too
Yaskarada's
high.
the last mon. You see Protect. Thunderbolt comes out from the circuitry, able to just keep boosting that special attack. Flower Trick gets the crit. It is able to two-shot the circuitry, as Terra Blast is also able to two-shot the Meowscarada. Meowscarada goes for its own Protect. Circuitry is trying its hardest, and Crunch from Mousehold barely leaves Circuitry alive, but they're ignoring this Rhyperior as it goes for a Rock Slide kill onto the Mousehold. And Meowscarada on its own is not going to be enough to deal with this Terra Flying Rhyperior.
For getting differential, we just decide to keep the try and attack into the Rhyperior, forgetting that we can just up our diff for Circuitry. But
I think if Boefie had focused down the Rhyperior, there was definitely a shot to kill it before they lost all their mons, but then you'd still have to deal with the Terra Flying in front of a choice Scarfed Circuitry. And if you focused the Circuitry, it just would have been for differential.
Yeah.
Funny enough,
go ahead.
I had Discharge on this Circuitry, and I definitely had a win condition where I just click Discharge and kill 3 mons on the field. And that would have been definitely better than becoming useless with Thunderbolt.
But you didn't. You still pulled out
You
the
learn
game,
from
you
your
still put out
mistakes.
the game win and the set win, which means the final rankings for this is Callie winning against Odin with a diff of 6, Saw winning against D with a diff of 5, Mist winning against Soju with a diff of 4, John winning against Hedge with a diff of 7, Simon winning against Calcite with a diff of 5, Noof winning against DJ Bonnie with a diff of 4, Ince winning against Nex with a diff of 3, Small winning against Soul with a clean diff of 6, me winning against Ty with a diff of 4, and finally Runner beating Boefie with a diff of 5. I'm excited to see how week 4 plays out. Some of these matches, I'm specifically excited for DJ versus Saw, Hedge versus Soul, and Runner. Who are you fighting? You're fighting Ty. That'll be an interesting fight to see.
I am. This will be the 3rd weather team I've fought in 4 weeks.
Spoilers! Me and Small have already fought. And we know the victor. That idiot.
Yeah, we'll be reviewing that next week.
Next week, though. I'll see you guys next week. Yay!
Weekly recap.
Yeah!
Weekly recap.
Yeah!